Hi, everybody. Welcome to Wednesday's show. It's the 16th day of October and pretty much right on par for what we expected weather-wise. Tonight's low, not as low as what we had expected. We'll catch up with that tomorrow night, though. Upper 30s tonight, lower 30s tomorrow. We're still going to steadily climb from the 50s all the way up to the 70s. It's going to be a pretty nice weekend, at least a portion of it. I'll tell you what portion and what we're expecting thereafter in just a few moments. Before I go any further, let's go ahead and talk about what's coming out in tomorrow's edition of the Sayersville Independent, which, as I speak to you, is still in the works, just in the other side of the building. Larry Sparks is coming to Sayersville. When and where? We'll tell you. Pick it up tomorrow. The Bridget Howard story, of course, as she was honored, as we spoke about on the program here. We'll have more in the paper tomorrow about Pressure Sore Awareness Day being recognized. Trick or Treat Night has officially been set city and county wide. It's in the paper tomorrow. Rundown in the fiscal court meeting. I'll have some coverage of that meeting tonight. Not everything you'll need to know. You'll also want to pick up a paper. And a bit of a teaser in the paper tomorrow about what I am sure was an absolutely phenomenal experience for some local siblings as they went to another country where their father was recognized for his efforts during the war. It is the Korean War, and I'm anxious to make the story that we're going to work on next week here for the show and the paper, but tomorrow you'll get at least know what we're talking about. Also, some Sayersville grade school students now penning a column for the Sayersville Independent. Just a matter of time before that happened. Glad it did. And be sure to check out our historical page. It's another wonderful trip back in Sayersville Independent and, of course, our community's history. It's always a great read. Hope you pick up a paper tomorrow. Headlines tonight will include what turns out to be the third truck stolen in Sayersville during the week. And I've just learned of the third one, and it has been recovered, and an arrest has been made. An investigation still ongoing into two other trucks stolen in Sayersville and McGoffin County over the course of Saturday night. I've also got just a brief update on the poll between our two gubernatorial candidates and a lot of fiscal court coverage, a lot of important facts and information to pass along to you. Also important tonight, an announcement from our McGoffin County Senior Citizens Director, Marlene Howard. Commodity food boxes for our seniors will be distributed tomorrow from 12:30 to 2:30 for all those on the active list. Waiting list people can check with the center after 2:30 to see if there are any boxes left. And as always, they always need volunteers to help. I've been there, seen it done. A lot of other folks have done it a lot and still do, and it's a great thing for your kids if you can, of course, get them out of school or something of that nature. But it's a wonderful way to spend a morning and afternoon, just a few hours. It is some work, I'm not going to lie, but it's a very worthy cause, and they really need your help. Please bring a box because you'll be getting extra cans of vegetables this month. That's also an announcement to all those coming tomorrow. With that said, I just have a second. I wanted to throw this in there. I'm really not surprised. There is absolutely no doubt audio streaming has by far surpassed sales of CDs in any other format, and I'm sure that probably will never change. However, the comeback is not one that's really that unusual to me, given that I have a teenager in the house and that we are all fans of music for whatever variety it is. But the Recording Industry Association of America says that vinyl records will outsell CDs this year, when this year is all said and done. You've got kids who are going to, including mine, looking for vinyl, looking for the classics, as well as looking for the new artists who are out there putting their albums on vinyl as well. Old and new alike, vinyl being sought. I was in a Best Buy in Lexington just a few months ago. I made an observation that their CD selection completely gone. They did have a pretty modest selection of vinyl albums, though, over next to their audio equipment, and that is a trend across our nation. Pretty interesting how things usually come back sometime or the other. Bell bottoms and everything else. With that said, our fiscal court coverage is next. Stay tuned. You're going to absolutely fall in love with all the new arrivals at the seasonal shop, from all the autumn colors and styles in ladies' designs, shoes and accessories, Charlie Page, Mud Pie, you know the name brands, to jewelry, Simply Southern, Natural Life, caps, cups, and more, to rooms of home decor. And all you'll need to decorate for the fall and Halloween seasons, plus everything from coffees to candles, but hurry, because everything Christmas is already arriving daily and will be out soon, and fall will be gone before you know it. At Frazier's Prater Drugs Seasonal Shop in downtown Sayersville. Getting the best deal on the best tires with the best service has never been easier. Just log on to conleytire.net, check out the latest rebates, sales, and promotions, pick out the tires you want, and email, call, or come by. For huge savings from the family who's been proudly serving the area for over 32 years. Conley Tire in Staffordsville, 297-2424.
Car wrecks, truck wreck, disability, workers' comp, slip and fall, wrongful death. Your case matters to you.
Your case matters to us. Contact McFarland Tinker Law Office. With our combined experience of over 58 years, we're here ready to work for you.
A lot of important topics discussed in yesterday's meeting of the Magoffin County Fiscal Court. There will be much more than what I have tonight as well in tomorrow's edition of the Sayersville Independent. The first discussion we will focus on tonight is how there is still much to do, but how the Fiscal Court is hopeful to have the 911 Operations Center dispatch relocated and 100% in operation in the courthouse in Magoffin County by early next year. This is a project that's been underway for quite some time with some grant funding helping along the way.
As far as 911 and the moving it over here to the Justice Center, we're in the bidding process for the CAD, and then we'll be getting the radios and doing those things. We hope that before March that 911 is fully functional in this building. Our goal is to do it a whole lot sooner, but with this bidding process and the generator, we're still waiting on FEMA to approve the generator. Based on the grant that we got, we can afford a generator that would power this entire building rather than just 911. And we got the money in there to do that. It makes more sense to have this as the command center should another tragedy happen, like back in 2012. So once we get all that in place, this will, and we've got it, I think, in our 911 plan, emergency plan, that this is the command center now. It used to be the health department. So we'll be able to conduct everything from right here.
Next was one of a couple of special invitations that were given out through the meeting. This one dealing with a special recognition for two very honorable veterans. A ceremony to be held this weekend in their honor, one that Judge Wireman says was long overdue.
The Veterans Committee that had, as y'all know, when we done the resolutions, is going to be honoring the Whip brothers from the Sand Bottom. We're doing that this Saturday, October the 19th at 3 o'clock. We'll be on the bridge at the Sand Bottom for the unveiling and the ceremony. DAB will be there doing the 21 gun salute and taps and all those things. And just be aware of that if you're in the area. But everyone is welcome to attend. I think it's something long past due when we've got a boy from Royalton that's still on the Arizona. You know, that should have been something should have been done a long time ago, years ago.
From there on to the subject of the Recycling Center, Ashley Salyer, the Administrative Assistant and Director of Community Services and Codes Enforcement, explained that they're making some changes to operations at the Recycling Center, specifically the schedule, saying it will now be open until noon each weekday, Monday through Friday, for drop-offs, but there will still be a trailer outside the fence available for drop-offs anytime thereafter.
And we're just going to be picking up in town 2 days a week. Recycling is selling for a lot less than it used to. Typically, you used to get about $2,000 for a trailer, and in June we got like $200 for a whole trailer load of recycling. And that's a tractor trailer load, almost 40,000 pounds. So we're just having to cut back a little bit due to financial reasons.
Yeah, and we've been looking just for a few months. If you go back to 2016, we were getting anywhere from $1,800 to $3,000 for recycling. And as I look at our receipts this year, we're getting $189, $372. I mean, just financially, it's not something that we can run full time and have a lot of staff out there. We've also got some issues with our recycle boxes out in the county at the fire departments. A lot of times we're having to go and pick those up and take them straight to Rumpke to the dumpster. There will be some recyclable items in it, but a lot of it's garbage. And those are not garbage dumpsters, and we asked everybody out there to kind of keep an eye on those dumpsters. It ain't all of them. They're not dumpsters, they're recycle boxes. And make sure that if people are throwing garbage in, if you see them, let us know, because that's not what they're there for. You know, we're bidding out garbage collection services right now. We got a company that does that. We're trying to help with the recycling, and hopefully we'll be able to keep it. I've been in discussions with county judges all over eastern Kentucky and central Kentucky, and a lot of them are getting out of the recycle business. So we're going to hang on to it as long as we can.
Also in last night's meeting, and on the heels of a report that I aired just days ago concerning what was, I believe, 3 calls of emergency in under a 24-hour period to the lifeguard ambulance service, and that service not having any ambulances available, 4 calls in Magoffin County at either time, with ambulances having to be called in Pikeville, Paintsville, and I believe elsewhere. Nevertheless, it's been a problem that has been brought to our attention, and one that will be the subject of an upcoming report here at Mortimer Media. It's also a problem that Judge Matthew Wireman noted last night in his remarks to the Magoffin County Fiscal Court and the audience about his accounts of the situation and concerns.
We've got some concerns with our ambulance service. I know that there's been some news reports on it, but I've been getting calls on it. We got lengthy response times, and I know that this was a problem in Floyd County, and I talked to the Floyd County judge, and they brought it up at one of their fiscal court meetings. I tried to make contact today with some of their representatives, but I've not gotten any response back yet. Hopefully they'll call me tomorrow. But it's totally unacceptable when you start going through all the calls and you start looking at all the ambulances that's come from Floyd and Pike and wherever to service Magoffin County. And we deserve service just like everybody else. We shouldn't have to wait on an ambulance to come from Pikeville. We shouldn't have to wait on an ambulance to come from Prestonburg. We should have one here.
That's right. If I may say something too, they at the nursing home residents that have to be transferred by ambulance, they are canceling their appointments themselves and not taking the patients from that nursing home.
So we're not getting service everywhere we turn. And the thing, my understanding is it's staffing, but that's not our problem. That's theirs, and they're going to have to step up, and we're going to make sure that happens.
And lastly, another invitation. This is a very important one for tomorrow. It's an announcement that I've been running on the community calendar, but I would now like to turn it over to Mr. Brian Slusher as he came before the fiscal court with more details about tomorrow's event. Slusher is a millwright with the Indiana, Kentucky, Ohio Regional Carpenters Union, and he invited the community to a special open house at the Grayson Training Center tomorrow from 8 in the morning till 2, with over 1,000 people already expected to be there, and with what he says is an excellent and awesome opportunity for employment and information for not just the young, but anyone looking for a stable working environment.
We recently opened up a new training center in Grayson, Kentucky. It's right on the Boyd and Carter County line. It's a huge milestone for East Kentucky. Just in Magoffin County alone, millwright-wise, we have 231 millwrights in this county. 75 of them being apprentices in our program. I apologize I didn't get an exact count on the carpenters side of it for Magoffin County, but I'm going to estimate 200, give or take. So I come to you guys tonight and invite everybody in the county, the fiscal court, if you can put it on your calendar. A lot of people work through the week, so this Thursday from 8 to 2, we're going to have open house. If anybody's thinking about a career change, if you have a teenage son or daughter, we encourage you to come down. We'll have business agents on hand, instructors, directors of education, coordinators to answer any questions you have. You can also apply at the training center that day as well. Right now we have, as of yesterday, we had just over 1,300 people RSVP'd to be there. We've invited representatives. I think John Blanken said he's going to be there. We've invited governors, several different candidates for public office. We're going to have a lot of people there. Most importantly, our program, just a little bit of a rundown on it. It's a 4-year apprenticeship program like most. We offer a tuition-free college degree. So when you graduate our apprenticeship, you have no debt over your head. So, like I said, I'm the millwright instructor on the millwright side, and I invite everybody. I think McGoffin County High School reserved 50-some-ish students they're going to be bringing that day as well. So, if anybody doesn't have anything to do, we'd like to see everybody out. It's never too late. I've saw apprentices anywhere from 18 years old, fresh out of high school, all the way up to 40 years old getting into the apprenticeship. So it's never too late. It's hard to find good employment now with good benefits, retirement, health care, and we offer it all. So we have a statewide articulation agreement in the state of Kentucky. So any of our we've been in talks with Vince Minix up at the high school. So any of the students that take welding or carpentry at the McGoffin County High School or any other school in Kentucky, if they take that class, they write a letter of recommendation. As soon as they graduate, they come into our program. So it's an amazing opportunity for the young people in East Kentucky.
And Trick or Treat set for, as we mentioned earlier, as did the city of Sagersville, Halloween, October the 31st, 6 to 8. There's a lot of other information, some important information as well that will be in tomorrow's edition of the newspaper. We again hope that you pick one up and make it a read. And I hope you join me right after these messages. At Sagersville National Bank, they know your house is much more than your home. It's an investment, and for many of us, the biggest we'll ever make. And whether it's for needed repairs and maintenance or a new addition or renovation to give you some more room and more equity, let Sagersville National Bank deal with all the financial work and worry. Real and real competitive, hometown, homegrown, home improvement loans at Sagersville National. It can be one of the hardest parts of being a parent. You can beg them, bribe them, hold them down and try to force them, and sometimes you still can't get them to take their medicine. Well, problem solved at Parkway Pharmacy with Flavor X. Let your kids customize their medicine with some of the best flavors that really do taste great, and it's totally free with your child's prescription at Parkway Pharmacy. So stop the suffering, theirs and yours, for free, and get your Flavor X flavored medicines at Parkway Pharmacy in Sagersville. Whether it's diabetes, arthritis, or injury causing you foot and ankle problems, or excruciating pain in your heel that's often easily treatable, Dr. Cheryl Cheney has over 21 years in group and private practice as one of the region's leading podiatrists, and she's now practicing right here in Sagersville. Dr. Cheryl Stalder Cheney is now seeing new patients, young and old, at Hope Family Podiatry Center in Sagersville, just next to the Lee's Famous Recipe. Call for an appointment today. We have finally done it. After years and years of extensive testing, we not only invented the chicken sandwich, we have perfected the chicken sandwich. Come and try it and love it with a big, famous dipped breast strip, pickles and mayonnaise, or however you like it fixed. And if you like, make it a double. Just make your way to Lee's to get it and grab a cookie while you're there. At your Sagersville Lee's Famous Recipe, where even our ice is famous. Still a few top headlines to come, including the theft and recovery of a stolen truck in Sagersville. This is not the same report that I've been talking about this week, as well as your weather forecast. Right now, though, let's take a moment and find out what's happening on tonight's Farm Bureau, McGoffin Farm Bureau community calendar. First off, and with lots of love, anniversary wishes to the tune of 37 years from Carter to his wife, Vivian. Happy anniversary, happy 37th anniversary, Vivian and Carter Conley. Up next, a reminder about Homecoming nightly starting tonight at 7. Tonight with Nathan Lafferty, tomorrow night Tracy Wright, Todd Masters Friday and Saturday, and Sunday morning beginning at 11, all at the Sagersville Free Will Baptist Church. Pastor Alan Blair invites you all. And you're invited for a frightful night or 4 at the 3rd Annual Middle Creek Fire Department Creepy Creek Haunted House. This weekend and the next, 8 p.m. nightly, where all your nightmares come true. Only $5 per person at the Middle Creek Fire Department station on Route 114. And a special event next week for some very special ladies. Breast cancer survivors in McGoffin County, you are invited to and encouraged to be a part of the Pink Carpet Affair luncheon hosted by the McGoffin County Extension Service, but they would like to know you're coming. RSVP by calling 349-3216. And you can RSVP, I guess, for our community calendar. All you have to do is tell me so I know to tell everyone else, and that includes birthdays and anniversaries too, and you can get that information to me any way you like. Right now, for pennies on the dollar, a huge selection of like-new laptop computers, a fresh stock of video games, the Cadillac of dog tracking and training systems, new hunting rifles, accessories, and ammo. And they always stock, buy, sell, and pawn gold and silver coins and jewelry with a new selection just in at Parkway Gun and Pawn in Sagersville, 349 Pawn. From brakes, exhaust, suspension, fluid changes, to expert collision and auto body, to turning your 4x4 or diesel from mild to wild, get real auto maintenance, paint, and repair at Black Smoke Performance in Dixie of Sagersville. 349-8785.
I'm Dr. Jason Zimmerman at Highlands ARH, the healthcare system of Appalachia.
I reported to you for the last 2 nights on the ongoing investigation into 2 trucks which were stolen here in Sagersville and McGoffin County Saturday night. Nothing new to add to those reports except there's still an ongoing investigation into both. We hope to have something to report soon. But I have learned that there is a 3rd vehicle that was stolen here. This one in Sagersville. This one actually the first of the 3 which was stolen. This goes back to Tuesday night and Wednesday morning. The truck has been recovered and this man has been charged and arrested by Sagersville police. Sagersville police arrested 20-year-old Russell Kraft, currently with a Prestonsburg address, according to jail records and police citations. He's been charged with theft by unlawful taking of an automobile under $10,000 in value. This after an investigation into the stolen truck, which was taken from a Sagersville residence Tuesday night, Wednesday morning. Sagersville police officer Jeremy Watson, who's also involved in the investigation into another stolen truck in Sagersville this week, says that he was contacted by the manager at the Uptown Apartments regarding an 80-year-old victim's stolen truck, a 1997 F-150 that was said to be maroon in color. The victim ultimately told the police officer that he had 2 sets of keys on his key ring to his truck, and the night before, Russell Kraft had driven him home from a residence on Route 30. And that he was the only person that was in the truck or around the truck and had access to his keys. But the victim also told police that when he got up the next morning, the truck was gone and there was only 1 key left on the ring. And he didn't give permission to Kraft or anyone else to take the truck and reported it stolen. The victim also says that after Kraft dropped him off at his residence, someone else came and picked up Kraft and they left. But that Kraft returned during the overnight sometime with that key to his vehicle and then stole the truck. The truck was actually recovered the following afternoon by the Floyd County Sheriff's Department, acting upon information given to them by the Sagersville Police Department after receiving a tip that the truck was located near the residence of a family member of Kraft in Floyd County. The case remains under investigation. This latest poll related to the governor's race here in Kentucky was done with voters between the 10th and the 13th of this month, so it obviously doesn't take into account last night's gubernatorial debate, but it does have the incumbent closing 8 points to literally a statistical tie with just 20 days left to go until the November 5th election. While there was also a presidential Democratic debate last night, most of the eyes in Kentucky were focused on these two candidates for Kentucky's governor. Some remarks or highlights, if you will. Bevin saying that Beshear loved education so much that his kids were going to private school, while Beshear responded that he was attacking his kids. Bevin saying that, no, I'm just calling you a fraud. Beshear accused Bevin of illegally cutting state pensions, while the governor laid the blame of the pension crisis on former governors, including Beshear's father, Steve Beshear. While on the topic of the pension system, Beshear said that he believed that we have to create new additional revenue dedicated to our pension system solely, and that would start with expanded gambling that could generate $550 million a year. Meanwhile, as for the new poll, it's done by a company in another state, I think out of Florida. The Mason-Dixon Polling and Strategy has them tied right now at 46% among Kentucky's likely voters. That's a swing of 8% in favor of the Republican governor based on the last poll this company did, which is among about 625 registered voters across Kentucky. In that last poll, Beshear was ahead 48% to Bevin's 40%. The same poll shows that Beshear largely leads in central Kentucky and the metropolitan areas such as Louisville and Lexington, while the Republican governor has a stronger hold in the eastern and western regions as well as in the northern part of the Commonwealth. Now let's take a look at your Licking Valley RECC outlook. Clouds still hanging on tough after showers that came today. Temperatures still on the cooler side, and we'll see the 30s for the next 3 nights in a row, mid to low to mid, and temperatures also for daytime highs climbing steadily as well. One of those patchy, frosty mornings set for tomorrow. Our adjusted nighttime low tonight up to about 37 degrees. A few degrees more than what we expected 24 hours ago. No complaints. Mostly cloudy skies continuing. You can also continue to feel that west-northwesterly wind, 5 to 10 to 12, maybe even gusts upwards of 23 miles per hour during the early evening hours. And we will see a little bit of a wind tomorrow as well out of the west and northwest. So 37 tonight. Tomorrow we should be in the 50s again. This time, though, without the cold rain and quite as much wind. Still some, though. 56 is where we should top out tomorrow after some patchy frost in the morning. We'll see sunny skies for your Thursday, as well as a new edition of the Sagersville Independent in the morning. Tell you about that in a second. Mostly clear skies will continue tomorrow night, and colder still, down to about 33 degrees. So expect some frost tomorrow night that will linger into your Friday morning. Some fog as well. Foggy and frosty start to your Friday. That will hit about 63 degrees with more sunshine, mostly clear skies. So dry for the next several days, and temperatures improving improving daily. Saturday, 73 and 51 for your daily high and nighttime low. Frost in the morning again, of the patchy variety after a 36-degree low Friday night. We'll see some clouds on the increase Saturday night, and with them, some shower chances. Right now, it looks to be a mostly dry day on your Saturday. Shower chances holding off here in the viewing area. Right now, it looks as though until mainly after 9 o'clock. So with that said, 73 and 51 for your high and low on Saturday. And once again, a 50% chance of showers in the latter evening hours. That 50% chance of showers, as you see, carries over into your Sunday. Partly sunny and 73 and 55. We'll warm up just a couple of degrees still on Monday, 76 and 52. We're still holding on to clouds and shower chances 30, 40%. By Tuesday of next week, we're still holding on to shower chances, not as many clouds. And we're cooling off with that front. Down to 66 for our high, 44 for our low. Shower chances early Tuesday, 40%. They'll decrease to about 10% by Tuesday night, leaving us with what might be another dry day on Wednesday. Still in the mid-60s and mid-40s with sunny and partly cloudy skies. And that's your weather pattern for the next 7 days. And since I've already covered what's coming out in tomorrow's edition of the Sagersville Independent, there's nothing left for me to say this Wednesday except good night, and thank you for watching.